Well, thank you for the kind introduction. Good afternoon, everyone. It is an honor for our association to be here. It's an honor for me to present about the citizen science project of Szeged Fungus Association in this forum in SEAM 2024. I'd like to give you a brief background from starting from the sixth mass extinction and its consequences through the red listing to the lack of occurrence data. And then I would like to show you our project, its goals and the short history, and then finally a brief summary before answering your questions. So when I talk about this topic of conservation and macrofungi protection, I usually start with this topic. And for a lay audience, it is usually shocking. I think you know that people are not aware of this event, sixth mass extinction, and its consequences. But still, it is here. Not as spectacular as the fifth was, with the huge meteorite impacting the ground, but it is as devastating. And but for that knowledgeable audience, I may skip the details and go to the red listing, which is an important process. It is basically an assessment which is for measure the extinction risk of a species. It is mainly based on occurrence data. And it was done almost 90,000 animal species. Is it good or bad if a species is on the red list? It is definitely good because we know the conservation status of that species. Which is not good is in the bracket. For example, for animals, it is more than 20% of the species are in danger. Threatened, vulnerable, endangered and critically endangered species. But take a look at the number at fungi. It's a very, very little number. It is 2 orders of magnitude lower than animal or plant species. What is behind it? Well, I'm not going to talk about all the reasons, but let me focus on one, occurrence data. As I said, occurrence data is very important, essential to assessment. You know, GBIF or GBIF is a global diversity information facility. It's a global database that collecting data from very different sources and providing unified access to them. What are the sources? Very different collections, seed banks, gene banks, institutions, natural history museums, and also scientists upload their raw data for secondary use. And the growing rate of data is coming from citizen science sources. And these data are from GBIF for fungi and for plant, from Austria and from Hungary. Austria and Hungary have the same, almost the same human population and area. So it is good to compare. Take a look at the first bar. It is almost invisible. It represents the number of occurrence records for fungi from Hungary. Compare to plant and compare between countries. Again, it is a huge gap. What is behind that? Where there are cultural and social problems, cultural and social issues we have identified and going to handle in our project. We believe, I know, citizens can have significant impact on conservation. And we are conservationists and we are mushroom enthusiasts. So hence we reject handling fungi, mushroom, as an exploitable natural resource. And also we reject handling mushroom enthusiast citizens as a resource for a particular science goal. Citizens can set goals for scientific project and can participate in any phase of a scientific process. And our project was defined not as a citizen science project, but a support project for citizen science activity. The main goal is building capacity while maintaining or improving data quality. We promote and engage and provide knowledge in the form of guides, for example, and we are going to provide access, not only knowledge, but services for data quality improvement. We use the best practices of citizen science and we keep the best traditions of citizen science. And yes, there are social and cultural issues that we have to handle in this project. And yes, we had this financial support from the Ministry of Agriculture last November to provide measurable results by the end of this March. So we kickstarted the MycoBlitz and the workshop, and we have learned a lot. Thankfully, thanks to the diversity of the participants. For example, the statements. Citizen science citizen science should have personal, social, and scientific benefits all at once. So we create calls for participations to engage people to join this move. There are several dozens, hundreds of different applications, groups, institutions, and platforms and systems for citizen science activity. It is very hard to choose the right one. We are going to create a guide to evaluate these platforms groups. They are aspiring our valuable asset of fungi occurrence data. And it is not easy to make the right informed decision and pick the right one. So we are going to this guide. In the participants, there were several who work in education, and we agreed that there is room for improvement in mycology education, and also in citizen science education, where education and training has a direct impact on data quality. So we are going to create guides and curricula for that topic. And the donation was well received, well spent, and we are ready to step forward. So thanks in advance in any kind of support and donation. And finally, we are in the sixth mass extinction, and we know very little about the conservation status of fungi. Academic science cannot tackle this challenge alone. We need citizen science to bear witness to local fungi diversity and share occurrence data which is needed to assess the extinction risk of fungi species. And Szeged Fungus Association has about to start and run this project to support citizen science activity by creating guides, by providing access to knowledge and services. Thank you for your kind attention, and I'd be happy to answer your questions.